Multa arma in Warframe sunt, sed pauca potentiae Seer resistere possunt. That's right. It's time to revisit Pope's Holy Hand Cannon. The Mighty Seer is a semi-automatic secondary hand cannon that does pure puncture damage and 69 nice corrosive damage with a 2.3 meter explosion. It also sports a 21% crit chance, a slightly below average 1.9 times crit multiplier, and a fantabulous 33% status chance. Now, as it is a Kuva weapon, the only way to get it is by vanquishing a Kuva Lich that's wielding it, which will also grant it a valence bonus based on the Warframe you spawn the Lich with. So, let us give the almighty Seer another shot and see if it's still good nowadays. Shall we? I have a Toxin Valence. I'm not entirely sure why or if we're going to do something with it, but it does give us Corrosive and Toxin on the explosion, which is a rather interesting combination. Semi-pistol Funona, definitely one of the bigger changes since last time, though unfortunately the punch through is locked at 0, so we don't get that. A little bit of multi-shot, and I think for once we're actually going to go crosshairs and aim down sights because it works really well with this here. I genuinely have no idea what we're going to do for the arcane because we already have Canonade, which is a ton of damage, so the base damage arcanes are not ideal. I don't think Irradiate's going to work particularly well either, we just don't have the fire rate. Ooh, actually, Voltage sounds pretty nice for the reload speed and multi-shot. Yes. Yeah, we're not going to go to Flare, not going to do Empowered, so yeah. I think we're gonna go Voltage. I have a feeling Gas is gonna be better than Blast here. Yeah, Primed Convulsion, for sure. And this is gonna give us a rather interesting combination. Corrosive Gas and Electricity. Yeah, and then we just top it off with Galvanized Shot. Lovely. Oh, that feels pretty awesome actually. Hell yeah. I shouldn't be saying hell yeah, that's heretical. I'm sorry, Pope, I didn't mean it. I wanna try it fully ramped up as well. Oh, that is very good. Ho ho! Nice. We're gonna do Viral Electricity on the Dirija. Viral is really good for the extra damage, but the electricity is actually gonna help us sustain Conjunction Voltage, which is very, very nice. Take a look at this, eh? Boop! Full. Like, yeah, Conjunction Voltage is awesome. It does have a very short duration, but it does not care where the electricity comes from. Now that I think about it, we don't actually need electricity on our Mighty Seer to proc Voltage. Dirija can easily take care of that. We'll definitely lose a truck ton of upfront damage, but if we just stick to Corrosive and Gas, which is already a nice combination, and then run Elementalist, it's gonna be much better for clear. Plus we get a ton of reload speed, and we can fit in Lethal Momentum. We don't have to put in a Forma. Yeah, the damage is much lower, but I think it's gonna be better overall. It's gonna be much more dot focused, so if you don't like that, you can stick to the Convulsion instead, but methinks... Oh, methinks it very good, yes. Me likey. I mean, theoretically, since we have the Toxin Valence, we don't need Pistol Pestilence, but I actually quite like the status from it because I don't think there are any other, like, good status mods that we could run, and I don't want to drop any more status. Ideally, we would probably, yeah, 66.3% on the Gas. We would ideally actually have more status than this. I mean, it's not that Blast would be bad here, but I think Gas just fits it much better. Aside from the damage, yeah, which is quite clearly fabulous, one thing I'm loving about this is the reload speed. We're stacking so much reload speed, it is very snappy. It's not super fast, but yeah, that is a nice and fast reload, that feels good. You know what would be really cool? And this is something I need to try out, I might do this on Friday. Running Irradiate, but using Nyx to prime for it, because Nyx is excellent at priming radiation, which previously was just like cool, that's very nice, Nyx, we're proud of you, but now it's actually a valuable thing with the Radiate. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah, there's a reason why Pope likes this. Well, this is an absolute massacre. Like, can you imagine if Gas still worked the way it used to? Just in case you don't know, or don't remember by the way, Gas used to be kind of weird because it did mainly toxin damage. When you hit an enemy with Gas and proc status, it would create a gas cloud, but enemies within that cloud would be inflicted with toxin, which was scaled with the amount of toxin you had modded into your Gas. I think we all knew that the Seer was gonna be good. Like, anyone that dares suggest otherwise is obviously a heretic, but this is... yeah, this exceeded my expectations quite a bit. Ooh, now that's very good. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the big benefits of slow-firing, hard-hitting weapons when you build them for status. They don't get curbed as much by status resistance, because you're not proccing a ton of status, you're proccing very few status effects, but they do a lot of damage. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. This is basically like the worst case scenario for this, because while we do have corrosive, we're not proccing it that much, so we're not really stripping too much of the enemy armor, and it's still doing fantabulously. I do have Avenger on my frame, by the way, so we have a little bit more crit than we should have, but it's not too crazy. It's like 45% extra final crit. There are better things you could do with your frame to boost the damage. Alrighty then, so firstly I want to mention that I was using Arcane Avenger on my frame, so we did have a little bit more crit chance than we should have. This adds 45% extra final crit chance, which is good, but there are better things you could do with your frame to enhance your damage. Onto the Mighty Seer then. We are doing a conjunction voltage setup, which is taken care of entirely by our pet. We don't actually have any electricity on the Mighty Seer itself. For mods, we're running Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot, Pistol Pestilence and Scorch for gas and status, Galvanized Crosshairs and Primed Target Cracker for crit, Pistol Elementalist for reload speed and status damage, Galvanized Shot for status chance and condition overload, and we topped it off with Semi-Pistol Funnonat for a truck ton of damage, as well as Lethal Momentum in the Exiles if you want to for more projectile speed. Now, if you don't have a pet that can sustain conjunction voltage for you, there are two things you can do. Number one, you can change your valence to electricity so that you end up with gas and electricity, or you can take out Pistol Elementalist and replace it with Primed Convulsion. It is much easier to just go with a pet though. Dirija or any other pet with a Tazikor that's modded for Viral and Electricity will basically instantly stack your conjunction voltage up to 40. As I've said already, anyone that dares describe the Mighty Seer as anything but excellent is a heretic and shall be purged. But let's be serious for a moment, this is actually a very good gun. It's a lot of fun. It does great damage. It doesn't have the best single target, but it does more than enough to take you through Steel Path, and I would highly recommend you give it a shot. It's good, especially if you have a chunky valence bonus. Plus, the Riven disposition isn't too shabby either, so you can get some pretty gnarly Rivens as well. So go forth, my children. Acquire the Mighty Seer, and spread its love and joy across the solar system. And as always, I thank you very much for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. Then I would like to extend a special thank you to all the channel members here on YouTube, where you can support me for as little as $1 a month, as well as to all the patrons on Patreon, where you can also support me for as little as $1 a month. You guys are really awesome. You allow me to make the videos I want to make. I don't have to chase the algorithm, make clickbaity videos, or most importantly, shove sponsorships in your face. So thank you very much. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.